It's like this. I thought I'd come on and have a little bit of a chat. And I'm kind of out the back, you know. So I want to have a bit of a talk to the feminines, okay? My head's decapitated at the moment, you know, needing to do the beauty regime. I'll wait for some people to connect if anyone's awake. It depends on where you are in the world. I do have the cards, so we might do a mini read. And I was going to talk about some of the healing, and I feel the energy at the moment with Mars in Libra. Hey, Giggle, I thought I'd have a bit of a challenge for Divine Feminines. Are we going to take the challenge? I hope we're going to take the challenge. They're like, Yildiz, what are you on about? It's a bit of a revelation. It feels like a bit of a rewind at the moment, and I think it could be because I'm a Libra, and because we are in Mercury retrograde in Libra. And we also have Mars in detriment in Libra. And we are looking at the moment emotionally. You know, and I was having a coaching session tonight and went back down old memory lane. Good old memory lane. It's handy for some things, right? But the good thing is it reminds you of how far you've come and some of the tools that I used in my life to get me where I am. And that's not to say I'm there yet, but it's definitely some of the things that I did to really shift the focus and help me heal. And we talk about personal power. We talk about the divine feminine. And a few times I have actually shared a video that was really personally empowering for me. And it was Kylie Minogue's Get Out of My Way. And especially when you're in separation and you're having no communication and you're going through the healing stage, you can really get to a space where you, it ruins your self-esteem. It really does kick you for six, and you have to really, really integrate and get to a point you realize that's a them issue. It's not a you issue. But in order to get that power back, and a few tips which I did give tonight, which I'll share with you, is those thought processes you go into where you're picturing that person maybe saying something, doing something. Picture how they would feel if they were physically thinking that you were doing that. So swap it over so you're not physically going through that spiraling and you're thinking, okay, well, if I can think that, equally parts of water is they also at an emotional level can be fearing, thinking, you know, exhibiting those emotions. Oh, thanks, sweet. So the other thing I would say is, for me, I created a list and I created a new routine, especially if you've spent a lot of time with a person and that routine has been around them, especially if you are a parent, or, you know, this could be males and females, really. It applies on both ends. When you've been really shifting as an empath your focus onto everyone else apart from you, it does become imbalanced, and we're in Libra energy. So the anger and the fury can be coming up to do with that, and it can be showing us an imbalance. The one way I would de-stress, because the sacral chakra in separation is a good time to not give that energy to anyone but yourself, to pour it into your projects, to pour it into your art, which, yes, it can bring the tension up, but you can use that for exercise. And the exercise initially can be, well, it sounds like the revenge body, you know, go out and get that revenge body. But it's also your personal power, and it burns that anger off and that stress. And so while we're on purpose each day, we are trying to find a way to keep us sane, as well as the challenge to become that person that potentially you feel you're not. So if there's a wound coming up and you feel maybe your loved one, your love interest, your soulmate, your twin flame is in love with another person and they have something you don't have, to really integrate and look at that shadow, but to do it purposefully, to do it in a healthy way that you can go, okay, I'm going to turn my wound into alchemy. And if that is becoming a problem and the seed that was planted eons ago is coming up inside of me due to this experience, what can I do to face that shadow and actually take my power back? And for me, it was exercise. And it wasn't that I wanted to have a hot body. We've got neighbours next door having barbecues because we have a public holiday here in Australia. So I'll go inside. But it was really focusing on the exercise. So, you know, I focused on the exercise. I focused on creating songs that were positive. I'm going to have to walk really fast because I've got the TV on. So I would do things that were positive, okay, not negative. Looks like a haunted house here. What else can I say? So one of the songs was Kylie Minogue, Get Out of My Way. And the reason I chose that song is because she looks really sexy, quite frankly. Plus, I wanted to listen to a female talking about an experience that she had. And she does speak very eloquently to do with that. And I think songs are beautiful ways that we can look at maybe a different person's perspective. And through this perspective, it's basically if you're not giving to me what I should be getting, well, at some point, yeah, you're going to get fed up, and it's human psychology. So yes, it's perfectly normal for you to get to a point that you look at something and go, why on earth am I getting upset about this? Do you know what I mean? So the exercise and using empowering songs to your benefit, but not getting into ego and getting, angry towards that person, taking your power back and actually doing something, it's more productive. So the title of this is, to see what shadow's coming up. At the moment, Mars in Libra is in its detriment, but you can use it as alchemy. At the moment, some of you can be feeling really tired. Yes, it can be through our habits, and especially moving into 2021. The one large warning can be is we had the full moon in Pisces. Now, we did have Jupiter in Pisces, which in that pocket during that time, it was also a little bit sensitive. Next year, we're going to have to find healthy ways to deal with our stress, but to also keep our mind, body, and soul correct, which was one reason why I started getting ready for the magazine. So having healthy ways to deal with stress is going to be your absolute backup plan. You really need to, because Jupiter is going to expand that and heighten it. So the more we can actually find our spiritual compass and really get our power back and have purpose is the one saving grace you're going to have. If it's not, I even touched base with my partner's boss over the weekend, and we were talking about habits and codependency, and that some of those old things during the full moon in Pisces came back, and they were there for us to go, wow, okay, we've reached a tension point. So I would say exercise, nutrition, really having that love for yourself, getting to a point where you're taking time to get the things done that you want to do. Getting your hair done. I'm overdue for my hair to be done. And, it's almost like us females, we hate it, right? It's like you get your nails done and then it'll be something else. Then it's waxing, then it's the hair, but it's the nurturing. And it doesn't have to be that we're going out on a beauty regime, but it's do the things that really make you feel very positive about yourself. Look at the features that you really feel are really great about you and start integrating with that. But the challenge will be if it is emotional and physical, and you can turn the wound into alchemy, I would highly advise with the sacral chakra, when your energy does start picking up, especially with the intensity, is pour the energy into purpose. And that's going to keep you grounded, because it's really peaking up. It's really coming to a point where the tension points are coming up. Now, the hard aspects are still hitting. We did have Uranus and Taurus hit and make a square to Saturn, which again is our nervous system, it's stress points, it's values, unhealthy boundaries, and know that you always have power. I think the crazy thing is, especially when you look at the human psyche and the psychology, many times it's like we wait for another person to make a decision for us, and really learning the words no, really learning that it doesn't have to be a toxic transaction. You can say it with the utmost of love and care. Things are within our awareness, permission-based. So obviously when we don't know something's happening, that's not, but if we do, we're co-signing something. So really creating those healthy boundaries at the minute. During Mercury retrograde, yes, people from the past can come back, but use the time to gauge it. Don't get scared. Don't run from the shadow. Have that transaction, have that communication, and try to live very presently in a sense of, okay, I'm choosing to do this, I'm choosing to invest and discuss this with a person, but I can change my mind too. And that's why I say, in order to actually get to a point that you're not giving your power away, and you realize that on the other side of the fence, anything you think they have power on, you equally have that power too. That can be with your choices. It can be where we give our power away and we're waiting. Like, we've got the baton and we're in the hammock, matey. If you made your decision yet, we can make a decision too. I'm just saying. Let's pull a healing gem card. I got hay fever. I got a bug fly in my eye tonight. Had the lights on. I'm telling you, at the moment, from the Pisces moon, insects are insane. They're insane. I'm telling you, we're going to have those Jurassic Park style bugs next year. Okay, what do we need to see for Divine Feminine? Pretty sure. Where did I see the moon? Anyone know where the moon's at today? Pretty sure I saw it in Pisces. Can't remember now. Okay, what does Divine Feminine need to know? Mercury is throat. It all falls in your charts in different locations. In the sky. Yeah, true that. Up above the sky. Yeah, there you go. We're in our north node. So many synchronistic things have happened with this transit. It's ridiculous. The moon's in Taurus today. There you go. I did tell you squares relating to Taurus. So with Taurus at the moment, the tension points are coming from Taurus. Come and shake things up. You're like, yeah, thanks. When did we say we were having that square? December the 24th, there's another one. So pay attention to that area it was coming up in. Okay, Citron, I'm telling you, detox. Girls, it's time to detox. I am confident. Okay, it's your personal power. It's the Mars energy. We have Mars in the house of Libra until the 30th of October. Now, the best time during the Mercury retrograde is to reflect, to assess, use it as judgment, be disconcerting. Go, how do I see this? How do I feel this? What is happening during this time? How was I feeling? How was I reacting? How was I communicating? Where was my judgment at? Was I doing too much? Divine Feminines are getting back into balance. And Libra is a masculine energy. It's in the moon, which relates to mother. So some of you, might have been connecting with your mother. Some of you may have had mother energies coming through that were really emotional in situation. Some of you, it could be with your children. That was the activation of that full moon. Some of you were experiencing endings during that transit. And there can yet be, ironically enough, with the new moon in Libra coming, another, okay? Cycling it up for that new beginning over the next 6 months. Can be an intense time. 15th, warning date. 15th of October, my bloody birthday. Yes, can't wait. Let's walk into this. Let's see what it is. Your power is test it. It's happening for us. We're looking at where the tension points are. We're looking at how we can get in balance. Are we doing too much? Is there a better way to do something? New moon in Libra isn't going to feel like a new moon. It's going to feel like an ending. Because in order to have that new beginning, the best points are going to be the 8th and 9th. It can get easier. Things can make sense. But then we can be quite delusional as of the 15th. And things that were promised, or maybe we thought we're going to go a certain way, may quite not. And that can be showing us attachment. And it's not necessarily that that's a bad thing. I might go through each of the zodiacs. I'll have to turn the light on. I've got a blanket wrapped around me. This is how Giggle sees me in the morning when I talk. See, I'm always cold because I'm iron deficient. And, it's cold. Twins always like, it's not that cold. It is. I'm cold. My blood's gone. Okay, so Leo, at the moment, your tension points are coming from your career sector. You also, with Mercury retrograde in Libra, it's communication. So you're testing the actions, the words. You're having to do too much. Hi. You know, you're thinking of those things, but you're also looking at your contracts. The beautiful thing is, the things you're assessing, you're having new beginnings. You may be soon pre-warned, forearmed, moving. You have a 2-month window. Your contract, your home, your daily routine, things to do with children can come up. There will be movement there. It can feel a very, very hectic, full-on time. It's happening for you. You're being reshifted. You might be multitasking. You may be doing too much. So what it's going to do is slow things down. You're going to notice things. And then you're going to go, I've got a better way to do this. For some of you, you can receive a new job, or you can find a different way of doing something you're currently doing. You also may find that you are giving too much energy into an area. Hi, sweet, and it is causing triggers. So keep it in balance. If you were, for instance, running a business, you can be fine-tuning that, especially if it's home-based. You can be pouring energy into family and home and errands, or a home-based business, and this can be a successful time for you. And it can be quite lucrative moving into 2022. So pay attention. It's your 101 to get up ready for 2022. Virgo, you guys have had a hard time. The full moon landed in your relationship sector. The full moon also was causing confusion, but you had to let go of old things in order to bring new things in. For some of you, yes, it may have meant a breakup. For others of you, it can be a reconfiguration of the connection. It can also be blasts from the past coming back, but having to psychologically let go of things. And also letting go of you needing to be everything for everyone. With Mercury retrograde in Libra, you know, your assets, you might be looking at paperwork and documentations, your income, you know, again, legacies, inheritances. But it's paperwork, it's your net worth, it's your value, it's what you want to achieve. It can be your income source. It's confusing at the moment, but it's going to have growth. So you're going to have movement and growth, but you're going to have to work hard for your bread and butter, really hard during Mercury retrograde. You're going to want to pull your hair out, but you're going to have solutions, and you might even find new creative ways to generate streams of income. Best point would be, as Mercury goes direct, if you are signing new contracts, but you also need to be careful with your cash component. Don't be wasteful. You know, you could have unexpected expenses, but it also can be a confusing time. If somebody owes you something, there can be a bit of delay. Probably not the best time to give right now, especially with the square to Uranus and Taurus. If you are advertising, if you're upskilling, again, it's almost like you could be potentially feeling, do I need to do something? Is it advertising? Is it marketing? Are you thinking about your purpose? Are your values coming up? Pulling hair, hilarious, I know. Always Mercury retrograde. I'm like, here we go again. Am I going to have to tweak something else on my website? I already found something I want to change. Instead of writing donations, I wrote support the channel. So the tab to find donations on my website, I was like, why did I call it that? Oh, it's support the channel, right? But anywho, so see, Mercury retrograde. Added new services as well, testing them out. Yeah, they're working quite well. People are liking the coaching. So we're having weekly sessions of coaching. We do the weekly sessions of coaching with groups, but I hadn't done them one-on-one. So I'm now doing them one-on-one, weekly. So for you, Virgo, you could be having amazing ideas right now, and this can be for 2022. Now, when we look at the Taurus placement, you need to think outside the box. Like I said, we're going to have Jupiter in Pisces. We're going to have the North Node in Taurus. So Taurus in Uranus and Taurus is very Saturn in notion, except it's innovative. It's out there. It's the true dream. It's 2022 is great for making your dreams come true. But you're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to be aside from the competition. You're going to need to be connected to the internet. Yes, we could get hacked. You know, these things will come up. So for you at the moment, It could be marketing, advertising. You might want to go on a holiday and you're thinking, do I have the money? Or what are my plans going to be? But you're thinking about the bigger goal. You might need to upskill and really research maybe something you're trying to do. Great time to do such. But, don't, I would say right now, the downloads are phenomenal. There you go. The downloads are phenomenal. Marketing for everyone has been really crappy because the South Node has been in Sagittarius. So I do anticipate right now it's going to start getting easier as Mercury goes direct. Because we're heading to eclipse time, which is finalizing that cycle. And the South Node in Sagittarius was journalism, marketing, advertising, travel, sports heroes, musicians. They couldn't play, only online. North Node, North Node and Taurus next year. New movies, new technology. So you're gonna find that, it's gonna move. But what's happening right now is that tension point. It's preparing you. We can have delays with trade coming through, confusion. As we move over to 2022, give it 1 or 2 months. Don't expect huge miracles right away. But you've got to ease yourself into that year first, but you're preparing for it now. So the tension points in that will be coming there. Your relationship and contract sector, Virgo, will be fantastic next year. But you're going to have to manage it. Because it's in the house of Jupiter, so it's going to be adventurous. Can't micromanage that. You've got to go with the flow. Your employment is going to be out there, spiritual. Again, coaching. You might be coaching. We've got to find healthy ways to deal with the balance of our employment and our connections in a managed kind of Virgoian way, in an organized, logical way, but something that's really achievable. Because you're going to work hard, okay? It's a number 6 year. Libra, yours is coming from your relationship sector. You could be your friends, your kids, your partners, clients. You're changing. You're realizing you can't say no. Maybe I don't want to eat that for dinner tonight. Maybe I don't want to do that. And you're going to find also, you might find some of the ways you were relating to things, you're just not relating to them anymore. You may go into reaction mode in the Mars element of things and find it's just not worth your while. Others of you, it can be, no, I'm really putting my foot down right now. You're crossing a boundary here. And that's healthy too. It's going to exhibit something that's not natural to each of us, that maybe in a shadow phase we have to look at and integrate. So definitely with your relationship sector, I would say right now it's hot and heavy, it's passionate. But you feel passionate towards it. It doesn't have to be in a positive way, but it's fire and air, which is natural in that cycle. But you could be looking at, what is the balance? Do I have enough energy? Am I in my totality of my vibration? Your health from the full moon in Pisces, it's still kind of get there. Got to look after your health. Thanks, sweet. You've got to get to the point you're getting that equilibrium. It's like if your body says no, don't. If your body needs to exercise, go. If you're needing to have purpose or a sleep, do such. Listen to your body. So the returns are always yucky. Birthday seasons, how many of us never have a great birthday? It's not a judgment, you're having a return astrologically. So you're having an integration. You're like, I don't resonate with, I don't know what I want to wear. You're kind of having one of those moments. So don't force it, just accept it. You're having a rebirth. Go through that movement. Be accepting of that. Be okay to cry if you need to. Take a moment. You guys are also having Scorpio transit through your second house. So money can be coming. You may have all these lavish expenses. You might be thinking of all these beautiful things you want to get right now. You might want to change your appearance and change the way you're communicating. Really may be confused about how people see you at the moment. Why isn't something working? Why do people misunderstand me? Why do people walk over me? Don't know. Maybe I should be more stern. Maybe. This shift can be in your resources. You can be thinking about plans for later. You might be getting paperwork sorted. Scorpio can also be very 8th house. So 8th house can be tax, legacies, inheritances, your stability, healthy codependency, and that it's the healthy give and take. It's if I do this, what are you doing for me? How do we get that balance there? What is an acceptable? So you're renegotiating that, but it is Venus currently is in that house. Be careful on what you use your money on. Venus there, you can be looking at your health and diet. And funny that I mentioned this video was for divine feminines. It's moon is emotion, right? It's feminine. But at the moment, the transits are in Libra, it's masculine. So we're getting into the yin and yang. Feminine is in her body taking her personal power back. Masculines are looking at their emotions, but also their personal power. So we're both doing the integration. But where our personal power is focusing on self. So yes, I do see for you guys at the moment, more than likely you can have situations coming up relating to love. You might be reflective. You can also hear from people from the past. As it moves direct, it's going to flow a bit smoothly, but it can be testing during Mercury retrograde and between the 30th. So we need to be careful about how we're communicating, but we do need to, in a loving way, place healthy boundaries and to reconfigure that so people understand where you're coming from and what you will and won't do. Scorpio, you guys have Venus in your first house. And as I said, Libra, be careful because Scorpios, the emotions can make us eat. I smashed the cookie jar. I'm telling you. See, the bug was in my eye. My mascara come off. I was like, Scorpio. You may have had... You had the 5th house with the full moon in Pisces. You could have been in a bit of affair relating to relationships. There might have been subjects to do with children and family. Your creativity might have been coming through. Maybe it was coming through in your dress sense. But again, it's 5th house. It can be money, romance, creativity. It's children. It's your luck. We had the full moon happening there. So some of this could be simply your hopes and dreams, right? Some of this can be, hey, I'm going to do this and this is my mission and this is what I want to be and I've been pouring all this energy into this cup. You'll have growth in that area next year, which can be a huge learning curve. Can be more social. We can, it can be more social. I'll just say. You might want to do things at a natural pace and really learn. Take your time to have quality time with friends. Now, it felt everything was super serious. We do have Mars at the moment transiting through your 8th house, which is really natural in your own energy. This can be looking at documents, looking at paperwork, maybe having things come up to do with your stability. This can be emotional, physical, or financial. It's 8th house. 8th house can be life, death, money, legacies. With me, it's funny because we were looking at the transits and there was a lady that was talking about I think it was Lada, Love and Light Lada. And they said, oh, what house does it fall in for you? And ironically enough for me, we have on YouTube, we have AdSense and we have, so in my astrology, the way it happened was there was paperwork I had to fill out, which is digital. North Node, North Node's going to be in Taurus next year. But because Uranus was in Taurus, we had Mercury retrograde in Libra, which is communication, going over contracts, which was contractual. Uranus and Taurus was digital transactions. And again, Scorpio, 8th house placement, taxation. That's how it played out for me. So you have to look at the chart that way, Scorpio. Yours with the 8th house can be documentation. It might be a physical contract you're looking at. It could be who directly can I depend on? Is the give and take here? Is this give and take helping? At the moment, you have Libra transiting through your 12th house. So Mercury, you might be psychoanalyzing what you're doing. Somebody might be driving you absolutely balmy. You may be thinking about some creative projects right now and have all these great ideas, but you don't know whether to go left or right. Document them down. Not one's wrong. It's the road less traveled. Give something a shot. Try it, build it, and they will come. Trust the process. But it's that meditation going on there. You might be all up in your head at war with yourself. On the higher octane, you can have all these beautiful ideas and go, wow, I'm really resourceful. I can problem solve like that. This can be an opportunity to do such, but it can also be from a psychological point of view that you're actually looking at things and they could be emotionally really taxing you. So weigh out the pros and cons 50-50, work out how it's resonating for you, and then take direct action as we move into mid-October. And things can make a lot more sense and less stress then. You'll have more energy by the time we reach the 30th of October. If you haven't been feeling vital, you'll feel better as we move into the month of October towards the end, because Mars will be in your house. Aries, this is a hard time for you. You know, you're evaluating your connections. You're looking at them. It could be your workplace. It could be your love life. If it's flowing and the give and take is there, it'll be fine. It'll stand. If it's not, it's going to cause that tension point. This for both Libras and Aries is not a great time to fight, to articulate and create firm, healthy boundaries, yes. But it can be a very almost unmotivational time. Although there's Mars, then Mars wants to go. It's like, let's get a move on. Libra wants to weigh it up. So emotionally, it can make them feel very much like a Libra, and Libra can be really feeling like an Aries. So it's just swapping energies. You're seeing the other side of the coin. It's like, here's the platoon. Do you know how it feels? You know how it feels. You're doing the 1st and the 7th house. You're swapping just to see something from the other side of the coin to make a true evaluation. How was work? Can you relate differently? What was that was said? So you can be going over what was said, going over why it was done. Regression work, lots of regression work. Where are you going? What do you need to do? You may feel tired. You may lack in concentration right now. Mars is going too fast. Libra's weighing the pros and cons. Pisces moon was in the 12th house. If that tension was there, it's building, right? It's going to settle down though. It's very reflective. It's very creative. You could be really, really going through some healing. And that's going to make sense to you. You can have these really great ideas for your industry. You also may find that spiritually speaking, you have this reasoning and questioning. Can feel like a great awakening. You're going to need to become comfortable with your stress levels. And that's one warning for Aries, is that next year for any of us where Pisces hits, yes, it's beautiful if we can handle it. If it's not, it's very 12th house. We can see maybe more depression. We can see maybe more habits. But what we will learn from that is healthier ways we can deal with things. Communicating, not isolating ourselves. We may want to isolate ourselves because we may feel nobody understands us. And those of us that are twins, we've been through that. The collective consciousness. Okay? So not to isolate. That's avoidance. To deal. You don't want to live that slow burning pressure on the treadmill unless you know you're going to get the hot buns, right? That's for a purpose. If we keep doing things that don't feel good, at some point we're going to get off that treadmill. Leo King, red pill, blue pill. No judgment. So I do see for you, Aries, you can have these really great ideas. You can have tension points. You might have old habits coming up and going like, something's got to give. Maybe something of a good thing that maybe isn't such a good thing. If you're finding healthy ways to deal with stress, it could be that you hate your job. It might be that you're in a very toxic relationship. Yes, you're going to see the writing on the wall. Also, with your contracts and your partnerships and your friendship groups and your love life, you're going to be looking at different things and you're going to have to relate to it differently. But it's going to give you the movement moving forward. You're going to have a reality check. And life will show you what you do and don't want to do. It's going to give you the answer. Can be a great time where you might be assessing old jobs you used to and going, maybe that was better than this one. Or it could be these really grand ideas and you're tweaking it to move forward. And in love, you're going to have the reality of where you need to go. Things are going to make sense. But again, Mars is making it tense. Taurus, yours is happening in your health sector. And again, Uranus and Taurus causes nervousness. This can be what is your part, what is another person's part. It can be your workplace. It can be your work environment. It can be your habits and your health. Diet and nutrition, stress. It's the house of hidden enemies, and half the time that can be us. It's yes and no's. It's routines, getting things in order. Mercury's retrograde there, so it might be things that you didn't do, having to catch up on things, having to get things back on track. Gee, I wish I could. You get my gist. 6th house placement can even work in relation to work, but it's structure, it's routine, it's discipline. For anything that you're wanting to do, that Taurus placement, by doing such, you're going to get the best out of it. Don't go into self-sabotage, but I did that. Now look where I'm at. Move forward. Let's try a different way. Let's do something to get a different outcome. This can be a time you need to pay attention to your pets, because 6th house can relate to pets. There might be some confusion. Some of you might be thinking about getting a cat or a dog. Wait till mid-month. Don't make a decision yet. You might change your mind as it goes direct, but you can have bills associated with that. We also have blasts from the past coming back. Due to the fact that we have Venus and Scorpio, you are going to look super attractive. Everyone's going to think you are lovely. You can be revisiting circumstances. This can be a more passionate time for those of you in a connection. But you also do need to pay attention to your health. 12th house as well, if you are experiencing headaches. And again, I'm not a medical practitioner. You'd have to get professional advice. But astrologically, 12th house, it can be maybe you feeling like you got to do things and it's keeping you up at night. Try and do some guided meditation. If it's something you can control, go do it. If it's not, write it down on a list so that you can have a restful sleep. Creative ideas, guilt, forgiveness, anger, resent, they can be coming up. Allow it to flow. Look at why it's coming up. Allow it to flow, let it go. If it's serving a purpose and you still need to look at it, have that look. And don't be angry at yourself if you need to look at those things. I would say your growth sector you're going to feel more stable as we move direct. We need to get through the eclipses though. But this can be a very romantic time for your zodiac sign between now and the end of October. So you have that portal there. Okay, Gemini, yours is landing in your, you want to have fun. Okay, girls just want to have fun. You want to go out. You want to do things. You want to socialize. You want something just fun. Bad migraines, geez. You can tap on the third eye. Keep your fluid up because Pisces, transit Neptune's and Pisces. Uranus and Taurus is our nervous system, so you can eat food groups to balance it. You can do guided meditation. Keep your fluid up. Because, when we're purging, we're flushing. And, again, dehydration can cause it. Yeah. But, yeah, Tourmaline, Onyx, and trust the process release. It's all that thinking and concentrating. Mercury, it's causing issues. So, Gemini, at the moment, yes, you could be assessing your pastimes. It might be, your eating, your diet, your pastimes, your food, your social activities, maybe some projects. You might have a grand idea for a business or work or something that you want to do. You could be thinking about romance as well and feeling, thinking back and regressing back to the lovelier days, thinking back to the gnarly days and thinking what you want. You also could be judging what people are doing. What have you done for me lately? That can be coming up. Reason I called this divine feminine is because definitely for divine feminine, we're in the Mars energy. So he's got to be careful. Understand, accept who you are, and accept some of the things that are coming up. It's okay to look at it. It's okay to be mad, bad, angry, sad, and accept you and look at the needs and the wants. Time to look at some needs and wants and balance. I would say, again, your health sector at the moment, you have Venus and Scorpio. If you are getting checkups or anything like that, if something's been niggling and nagging, pay attention to your health. For your zodiac sign, between now and the end of October, pay close attention to your health. Mars amplifies, okay? If you needed, for instance, to use Mars energy in that transit, use it to get on top of things. Do pay attention to your health. If you feel you need to check something, do such. If you've got a pet, pay attention to them. Things to do with that can come up. But it can be a really great time to get on top of your schedule, boost those ideas, launch those businesses. At the moment, you're thinking, you're in that creative mind, and there could be too much coming at you. Journal, pause. When the time's right and the iron's hot, you'll get it done. But with Mercury retrograde, you could be really looking over, could even be pastimes. What pastimes do I do? Does this resonate with me? Is this making me productive right now? And I feel it's almost like you want to get things in order and you want to get more into a routine. Your romance sector, I'll just say, if it has been hellish, it is set to get better. Wait for after the eclipses. Your luck is ready to strike. During the eclipse, you can have a transformation in that area and you'll find your love life will start glowing again, even your workplace. At the moment, because we had the North Node in Gemini, it's been a lot about you and a lot about you having this rebirth. And it's a bit like going to the ball. You're coming out to the ball. I can do. You're coming out to the ball and you're going to be announced, right? So it's going to get better. Trust the process. If you're getting downloads, apply them, get organized, get excited, pour that energy, like I said, so chakra, pour that energy into something positive. Don't feed the devil in tarot. Feed the devil in the detail to that of what you want. Build it and they will come. Be it's exercises, the hot body, it's your personal power, it's your Mars energy, okay? Do that. That's positive, but trust the process. Cancer, you guys are navigated by the moon generally, so yes, the moon phases can be pretty intense for you. The tension point is coming from, or did I mention that for? Yeah, 12th house, Gemini, your creative ideas to do with money and business and your nervous system. Look after that. Back to Cancer. Cancer, home, family, children. There can be cross wires, maybe thinking about, regressing back. Your routine, you're renegotiating. What are you doing? If you're in a partnership, what are you doing? What is your partner doing? What have you done for me lately? Getting into the balance of give and take. Maybe the home becoming more balanced. Maybe feeling that you might have had to have moved. If you hadn't already, you might be. This can also be towards big plans over the next 6 months, or maybe the next time we reach this phase again, where you want to be with your accommodation. Big decisions can be really in the plan and the mix. It might be you want to purchase a home. It might be you want to move home. But there's could even be renovations, but there's surrounding energies to do with home. Some of you also may have been reflecting upon family. This also, with the transit, can make you very fertile, I'll just say. Because we do have Venus transiting your 5th house. And again, with both Libra there can be confusions to do with family, your daily routine. 1 minute you're going left, then you're going right. Could be your work. It's going to feel confusing. Pay close attention to the road. It's very Mercury in energy. It's very home in energy. But pay attention to the road when you're traveling. The enhancement you guys are going to get, and the tension point can be at work. Having to do too much, a bit of burnout. You're really going to have to get your body in balance. But also when it does come to your finances and your growth and the socialization, the friendship groups, they're growing and changing. So you may be outgrowing certain hopes and goals. You might be grabbing new ones. You also might be feeling that suddenly you don't have as many responsibilities. And what does that mean? And then you can be geared towards new hopes and dreams, but great ideas. And you really do have a great energy coming through, but you do need to be careful about arguments at work, misunderstandings, unhealthy boundaries. It's like if you're off shift, you're off shift. If you're on, you're on. So, just really nurture yourself. You could really be getting burnt out. This can be a time that you need to look after yourself. Be organized with your routine. It can be extremely busy around your employment at the moment, but it also can mean that there is confusion. But with Mars in Libra, it's really hitting both your career sector and your home. So their goals, their hopes, but having to be in too many places at once. When you do have time to actually have some downtime, have it and trust the process. But there can be movement happening surrounding those areas. Sagittarius, yours very similar to Gemini, is going to get better, especially in your relationship sector. There could be tension surrounding health. You need to look after your health. You need to pay attention to your daily routine, your money, your budget. Also, if you are finding creative ways to actually generate income, pay attention to those things. They can be quite lucrative moving into 2022. With the 6th house, like I said, important to know your home, your routine, getting that structure. Yes, sometimes these things change and it can be financial. You can be going up a tier level, down a tier level. When we do have Uranus and Taurus move direct in 2022 and we have the North Node there in Taurus, you're going to find it's going to be important for you to look after your well-being and have a strict routine. 6th house is all to do with teaching you how to have a strict routine. Okay, got to be here at 8:30, right? At 10:15, I need to do this. It's how that structure can make your life bliss. But it's also, if there's tension, where's it coming from and what can I do to de-stress and diffuse that? It's teaching how to manage that. Now, your relationship sector will transform and it's going to be very highlighted next year. Yes, it'll go through changes, but definitely your love life is going to do a lot better because the North Node will be changed. And it could have been really romantic this year. You might have learned a great deal from your partner, or there could have been tension, couples or singles. Because it was the North Node, which was almost like, there's give and take in connections. That's a reality. Do they happen? No. Can they? Yeah, they can. But it's when we're integrating that 1st and 7th house teaches us that. So yes, you've gone through university, you're moving past the eclipse, and you're coming out with a merit award. Past. You're a different person. You're going to attract more conducive energy. Be careful at the moment with your hopes and dreams. If you feel you're double taking and having to go back, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, maybe I shouldn't, do I go left, do I go right? It's because you have the 11th house, but you're going to have huge wins. You could have money owed to you coming back to you. Not a great time to gamble. Not that I'll promote that anyway. Be cautious with money. A lot could go. 11th house can be your hopes and dreams and aspirations. Again, because we are going to have Saturn going direct. It's in Aquarius. It's in your 3rd house. You might have a lot that you're dealing with. So it's important to be very strict about what you're doing. But this can be a beautiful time where money can really be coming into you in a very unique way. And 11th house is riches. So this could be a very lucky time for your zodiac sign, but be smart. Cross the T's and dot the I's. Got to be really careful with legalities. Libra's there. Capricorn. I think really Capricorn, what other zodiac sign were we looking at? Yeah, Capricorn, Libra, Aries. Capricorn, yours at the minute. You could have tension at home. You might be like, do I stay? Do I go? Do I move the routine around? It can be mother energy. You might have to create healthy boundaries with family and friends, but it can also be a move of home. There could be tension points surrounding that, maybe confusion to do with the home. But you may have a lot you need to do surrounding that, and it can be calling quite a lot of energy upon you. This can be with your children as well. Separately, you do have finances and difficulties relating to your 5th house. So it can be, you know, you're trying to balance out your pastimes. It might be a hobby you have. It might be tuition fees. It could be 5th house can be your socialization. You know, you had a birthday, oh, I don't have the money for the birthday present. But again, it's creativity. 5th house is anything connecting to romance, children, luck. It can also be a very fertile time. So those themes you can be reflecting upon, but there can be tension points there. And it may be you're trying to create that stability, but you've got to think outside the box. And you're looking at the dream versus the reality, and what you'd need to do to shift around. Probably a great time to do a budget, to look at your documentation, make sure your passwords are in check, but find creative ways also on the monetary front and your creativity. A hobby could turn into a creative venture. But I think a lot of you are really trying to find stable ways that also give you flexibility. This can even be your daily routine. Now, Libra is hitting your 10th house, so caution at work. There can be confusion, having to double take and do extra things. Some of you, if you're wanting to apply for a job, this can be a time that's coming up in your mind. And I mean, some of you are financially very stable and you're sort of like, I don't need to work, but it can be the need to have purpose in your life. And, you know, what would that be? Would it be having a hobby? Would it be, especially with the 5th house, would it be maybe having a project or some friendship groups, but having that purpose? And I think it's really important for our spirituality as well as our psychology to have direct purpose. So I'm seeing that there can be a lot of energy and confusion. Be careful with conflict. Create healthy boundaries in that domain. But again, it can be getting better. Now, towards the end of the year, I will say Capricorn can be very interesting for your love life. Both between you and your romantic partner, your love interest, or a twin flame, subjects relating to that area can come back up again between, I would say, November-ish through till January, February, right? Aquarius, very tense point at the moment, both at home, both with communication. You also might be looking at your love life and effectively looking at their actions, their words, but also you are trying to get things in balance. You know, you've gone from one way of life to another, and you're in this transitional state. And I really feel as Saturn goes direct, I don't think the people surrounding Aquarius are going to understand. Aquarius is in that assessment zone and waiting for these balances to come through. And I feel you're just going to be done on it straight up. You're really going to be straight up and you won't be too impressed. You do have to be careful about your driving at the minute. Don't be in a rush. Some of you are maybe saving for a vehicle. Some of you are waiting, you know, for that to happen. It might be, again, documentation, getting your license, purchasing a vehicle. It could even be technology and wanting things, you know, to flow through. I'm also seeing some of you are thinking about travel. It's like I feel it's very purposeful the way it's coming through with your zodiac sign. And you guys don't tend to be like the gold digger card in tarot. You're very much, it's for a purpose. Like, yes, you want to be comfortable. It would depend on what was in your chart. But it's really where you are wanting to physically, you know, do you resonate with what you're doing? Are you wanting to upskill? Some of you may be needing to upskill or you're going through a course. There could be a bit of delays, but if it's advertising, you could be really critiquing and looking at in your business how successful that's going and what you'd need to do to turn things about. So paperwork, documentation, ninth house can also be Again, information that comes to you through email. It might be where you are versus where another energy is. There's crosswise, and it could be contractual. So the distance can be an issue in completing that. But problem solving, nevertheless. I do see some of you could actually be planning future tense holidays. But I'm also seeing your values can be coming up. But you want to be on purpose. You could be looking at, okay, am I happy in the industry I'm in? For those of you maybe that are younger, you're looking at, okay, what is my purpose going to be in life? Or what do I feel my career would be? So that can be really, really tuned into at this point in time and in this reassessment. And you don't have to know straight away. Maybe some of you really do. But you're probably going to find by mid-month, mid-October, things will make perfect sense to you and you'll be more in your power to actually, okay, you know, I know what I'm going to do now. But just really do that research and that reflection over this time. I also feel for those of you in love, maybe there were values that were coming up, be it you're in the connection or you're not. There was values and crosswise and you can be assessing it, but you're thinking over old ground to understand the new ground. Pisces, hard time, interesting time. 2022 is going to be on fire for you. Now, it is because Jupiter's going to be in Pisces. So if you feel all of a sudden that you really want to be in hermit mode and you're trying to understand yourself, it's due to the fact that we are having transits coming up next year in your zodiac sign. I feel some of you are wanting to be fancy free. I feel some of you are wanting to, and it's the energy that's coming through at the minute. It's like you're reflecting upon connections. You may be having an intensity to do with your money situation. It might be, is my money okay? What can I do to generate it? This can be a good time to generate an income. But you also could be angry to do with things like to do with your assets, your resources. There could be conflict that you're currently dealing with and trying to mull through. It can ease up as we go direct. You can also be creating healthy boundaries for people if they're loaning from you or taking. But there can be some sense of conflict happening at the moment in the second house and the third house, and this is communication. Dot the I's and cross the T's. That's all I can say. If you're getting triggered, pause. Red traffic light. It's not to say this is a permanency. It's temporary, but it's something of a tension point at the moment. Some of you, if you're unemployed, you're like, right, I need to work. I need to really get on top of this financial situation. Others of you, it could be, you know, maybe healthy boundaries. People are maybe coming to you for money all the time. Or you're not where you want to be. And you're like, okay, what am I going to do to turn the ship around? And again, with your love life and the give and take, you can find that there is going to be more give and take, but it's a negotiation point at this point. Some of you, if you're single and you're thinking on it, emotionally, you can be feeling, hey, where was that give and take? Are we on the same page? Do we work as a team? So it's really for all of us collectively. It's acting like a Venus retrograde and a retrograde to assess our contracts, our health, our well-being, doing things correct, even if we don't like it. Doing things correct. Judgment card and tarot. Again, I would say some of you are looking at education and upskilling. Some of you may secure a solid contract, but you're looking at, especially if you've just secured it this week, sort of thing. You can be very unsure, very confused. Like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? Do I know what I'm doing? Have I read everything? Yes, during this transit, it can be that we haven't read all the documents. That we've missed something. Maybe we didn't know what was required of us in that connection, be it a relationship or a, and this can be a cross wire coming through for connections at the minute. What are you needing versus what am I needing? How can we meet in the middle? Can both of us get exactly what we need through this circumstance, both ethically and morally? Any questions? So, Venus retrograde and Mars in Libra. I'll give you a few things I've seen. So far being here in Australia, we have had accidents everywhere. And because Mars relates to, it can be police, military, you know, anything to, you know, that kind of domain. It's Mars, it's fire. Libra is Venus. It's beauty. It's, again, it's the justice card and tarot. It's justice. It can be legislations, policies, governments, laws, court. So what have I seen? Just in the transport, because Mercury relates to transport. It can be cars, buses, you know, ways in which we do things. Lots of accidents. Couple of police. One was a minister of some description, justice. Lots and lots of accidents. Pay attention to the road. Okay? The other thing I can say is with it, it can be Venus-orientated energies, discrepancies, misunderstandings. People may be putting their energy towards you in a very Mars-like attack way. So bars, yeah, healthy boundaries. Be aware, be in a group, be socially responsible, so to speak, you know, in the environment you are, because it can be one of those risky times with any transit with Libra and Scorpio, especially because Mars is there, which is planet of war. You need to be aware of your surroundings, okay? Lots of subjects to do with maybe infidelities on the media. It could be, what was the other thing? That was the crazy thing. Uranus and Taurus made a square. So that's also to do with trade and, again, postage services. Where have we put everything online? And now it's crashing. It's like, I can't cope. It's like the high drive, super drive internet, and suddenly everything that used to be in a supermarket is all online. And it's like, so the crash theoretically will probably be the postage services. How can we creatively look at this so it can go on the high seasons and the low seasons? I mean, everyone's getting ready to buy Christmas presents. How's the postal service going to get that to you? They can't even cope with what it is now. So it's happening for a reason. That's why Venus is going to be retrograde in Capricorn at the end of the year. Uranus and Taurus doesn't go direct till January. What day does it go direct? 1st of January, I believe. And that's usually pretty sudden. You're pretty much going to see that at the end of 2021. 1 to 2 weeks, you'll start seeing the Taurus placements I mentioned for you. Yeah. So, a lot of the astrology. How many of you in the house remember back to what you were doing in 2002 and 2004 and 2012? Some of the astrology is going back to the heydays. We're having a revisit to that next year, 2022. 2004, my daughter was born. I don't want no children. No more. Yeah. Any quick questions while I'm here? Any super chats? Anyone want a super chat while I'm here? Because it's like 10:48. Heck, I'm not usually up this late. Hey, sweet, how are you? You can see the lazy eyes. Like, yeah, it's the light. Maybe if I do that, it won't irritate me. Hi. So I did name the video Divine Feminine Challenge, which, yes, at the moment it is a challenge, but I might rename the video. The challenge is, if you're really getting to a point you're feeling, you know, down on yourself and you do want coaching or anything to that degree, different ways you can shift the energy. You know, it's kind of hectic because when we're uncertain, we can seek outside ourselves, but other times when we're uncertain, it's like we can sort of get, because we've got attachments, we can get really upset at the fact that during a Mercury retrograde, maybe you don't get communication from someone. Don't get disillusioned. It's permission-based, mentally. Trust the process, but just know each day you're healing, each day you're transforming. If something comes up, document it down. Hit me with an update. Well, you heard the Aries one. What'd you think? Oof. Poor Aries. There's transformations. I just get this they're not wanting to do what they're doing currently right now. I'll probably take no more than 5 because it's 10:49. So I'll take about 5 super chats max because I'm going to have to hit the hay. And my phone's going to go flat too. Okay, what's going on with Google? So just with that jumped out quick. Okay, what's going on with family? Where are you going? You going somewhere? Where are you going? You're wanting to go somewhere. Are you on the fence? You're like, okay, if this happens, I'll go there. If that happens, you're still looking at a distant location. I do feel there's maybe travel. There is an emotional offer coming, but, you know, it's almost like you're thinking, God, if crumbs come, I'm not interested. You've got the Page of Swords and you've got the Ten of Coins. And I kind of feel, number one, there could be a situation relating to money or documentation that you need to go and deal with, which could entail travel relating to family. But I'm also feeling as though there could be a conversation with your romantic interest. But I feel, you know, this is them coming through. Hi. Yeah. I feel like you're picking in the middle at the moment. It's like you kind of don't feel like you feel normal at the moment where you are. And then when you move forward, you just don't know which way to go. But I also feel your karma's coming back to you. It's just not looking at where you stand from, but it's only temporary. Okay? It's only temporary. Do I feel there's communication? Yes, I do. I'm seeing it come through here. But I feel everyone's getting their sassy back, if you know what I mean. Hi, Angela. So who was the next one? Is it you, Leo, next? Did I miss anyone? I hope I didn't miss anyone. What's going on in your love life? Anyone new? Would you want anyone new? You can if you want. There is a cycle. These are cycles, right? You feel almost like, to a degree, it's a little bit like you're kind of scared that if you had a new person, would you get the same crap? And if your heart is still resonating at the level, it's almost go into the new without attachment of if they're there. Do you know what I mean? But you're kind of scared with the new one and you're scared of the old one. So you're in a rotisserie and it's just a matter of when you're getting off it. See? Because time's moving. And sometimes we can start getting more anxious when something in our life is actually physically changing and it's got nothing to do with the love interest. It's more to do with the anxiousness. Does that make sense? I can check on you. It has been a pretty tense 3 days. You're getting better at it, Ange, but you have your moments, you know what I mean? You do feel you're going left and right. But you're also thinking about you're new. Does that make sense? You're not relating to the things the same. It's neither here nor there. So sometimes you want to free yourself, but I feel it's more mind, you're better at managing your mind. Yeah, it's sort of like, well, I'm happy being alone or whatever. But it's more you go into that, but you're different. And that's what Mars is doing to us, guys. It's healthy boundaries. It's no. And it feels unusual. It's not that we haven't been creating healthy boundaries. There's new things arise every day in everyone's life, males and females. So you're just getting to know yourself in a different chapter of where you are. But I do get the gist. It's almost like you're like, look, I'm not, this has got to give. Something's got to give. I'll free myself. I will. I'll do it. We have our mind. You know, it's not a one-sided transaction. It goes 2 ways here. That's the thing. If I'm not sure what I'm going to eat, I don't eat. Yeah. I did get to that the other day. Twin was saying to me, what do you want to eat? I went, I don't know. Oh, God. Maybe it's the Aries energy coming through. Yeah, true. How you doing, Lois? What's happening with Lois? Oof, Lois, you broody. What's going on, Lois? This is a deeper energy. Have you got like a rain cloud over your head at the minute? What is this energy? Is this you or your twins? What is it? Is Lois in the house? That's okay, Angela. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't feel like you're stressed. I wouldn't say that. It feels angry, moody. Did something play out? This could be an old energy, but I'm kind of feeling, oh, okay. Okay, was it relating to you being on shift or anything like that? Like, why is this anger coming up? Is it frustration for something that's happened very separate? It's really interesting. It's like you're entering a new phase, but you're going backwards. You're still going through this new phase, and it feels like upheaval. That's kind of happening to me at the minute anyway. I think Libras are going through that. Well, I'll be. Well, we kind of picked it, didn't we? With karmic. Oh, so hot. Lucky. Okay. So, what's happening here is that you're kind of feeling like, what the hell? Like, I thought you were going to move out and you were going to reconcile with me. Don't get too focused on the way it looks. No. But your personal power is, if you feel it's dead and gone, what do you want to do to move forward? That's where you're at, but it's still anger. Yeah. Just look at it. Look at the shadow and go, why is this coming up? I do think you'll get over it. I don't mean the person, I mean the intensity that's coming through. Yeah. It's gonna make sense. It's asking you to have faith in the process. It doesn't have to make sense to you. And well, it should make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah. CC. Well, maybe some of us have to, right? It's the transit, especially the Taurus. Thanks, Giggle. CC, what were you wanting to know, my love? What's up with Twin? He ran away again a few weeks ago. It makes sense. What zodiac are you, doll? Because Mercury's going retrograde, plus we had the full moon in Pisces. A lot of us were having old triggers, and especially because Jupiter was in Pisces, right? It's not at the moment. Neptune's there. You got missed. I'll come back to you, Dawn. Sorry. Neptune in the masculine's chart at the moment is causing, it's almost like old habits coming back, affairs and things to that degree. You're Libra and he's Capricorn. Well, you heard the Capricorn bit, didn't you? Yeah, the tension is in family. The tension is coming up where it is physically, I wouldn't take it personal. Well, you do take it personal, right? Just go into no communication. Allow that person to have the space and let that person come back, right? Have faith in it. But at the moment, emotions are coming through the third house. So it's running for the hills. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? The nervous system is in communication. The stall, it might have been a conversation you had that come up. It depends on if these were old things. That could have been the tension point. Again, issues surrounding home. Not maybe struggling with tension and emotions at home. That can ease up as long as you just, 10th house as well. What they're doing, their work, there's a lot of stress in their chart. It was pretty much, I'm sure it was Sagittarius, Capricorn, pardon me, and Libra that had the intensity of the square of Uranus and Taurus. All of us do, but that can't coffee. Dawn. Well, at 11 o'clock, I don't think the coffee will kick into me. Let's pull a card. What I'm saying is, especially for you, because you're Libra, you might have put your foot down and they may have run for the hills. Just be really calm. Don't go into arguing. Just be very calm. Yeah, be your high priestess. It's okay. It's okay. Trust your instincts. I do think you're going to hear from them again. Right. I don't think it's permanent. It's not that it's okay, but they're not going anywhere. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They did have an issue to do with car, though. I don't know why I'm saying that. Baby Ray, had a dream about an old friend overdosing. Okay, who are you worried about right now separately? Yeah, so that's where Libra's going through at the moment. Anyway. Remember the mirror, though. There's always a mirror. So, okay, so Baby Doll, was it? Who was the person? Baby Ray. Okay, it's your turn, babe. Oh, God, Dawn, I forgot you. Dawn. I'll do Dawn and then I'll do Baby Ray. Once Baby Ray chats, I'll come through. There's a lot of energy around your house, Dawn. I'll be 5-6, Baby Ray. There's a lot of energy around your house. Your twin thinks that you're leaving. But it's funny, it's all like up here. It's not bad energy, doll. Like, I'm not feeling anything negative. It feels like they're in your house, like your twins in your house wanting to hang out with you, but they're thinking about you. And it's funny because I'm feeling it all up here. It's all heart-centered energy. It's kind of, I feel they're going to be a bit more touchy-feely, but there's a bit of conflict going on there with the karmic. They're thinking a lot, though. A lot. But it's weird. It's like touchy-feely. Okay, I know what this is. The touchy-feely is the karmic, and he's not wanting her to touch him. And he's, you know, when someone's getting up in your personal space when you're thinking, it's like, he's like, please don't. He's very tense. Yeah, it's like the heebies down his back. He's feeling very like his personal space has been invaded. Yeah. He's like, it's really irritating him. It's like the creeps down the back. He's like, he feels he's in a third party situation. And because he's concentrating and he's awoken back up to you, now it's like it's showing the signs that tension point's coming. And I'm feeling it through his skin. It's really yucky. Well, something's got to give, so universe gives it in different ways, right? Okay, baby doll, what I'm getting is, did you have an energy where, did you worry about your health? Was there anyone that you lost to an addiction? Do you feel that the person that you dreamt about, you have concerns for their well-being, separate to maybe that? And it's in general, you've tried to maybe give them advice, or and you're concerned about their well-being. Do you also feel regret relating to that friend that maybe you guys aren't in communication? Because that can sometimes be unresolved feelings, like it ended on a note that you didn't want it to. Yeah. That could be there. Yeah, it's like regrets. That's how it's coming through. But it also can be where you felt that maybe you gave advice to them. You were worried about yourself. Yeah, so the mirror can come through. Sometimes it can be that you were maybe caring for them at a point. You were really nurturing and concerned and caring. Or maybe they were that towards you. And now that you don't have it, you're like, who would be there for me? Does that make sense? So it's that, our psyche, and I said this to a client tonight, it's like, it's really unique. Sometimes we think our minds awake do more of the processing, but when we can't, away from the ego, the body tries to make sense of it while you're sleeping. And sometimes when they're really profound, we can actually remember them when we wake up. But there's always correlating, because Mercury takes us back. It's also thoughts. You might have looked at the person of losing something, losing a sense of self. Even, when we dream of house, for instance, it's to do with our own identity. It's how we show up in the world, how we feel. I would say it's you needing support. It's you feeling that you're safe and that you can handle something. Try and get your organization with your routine. Yeah. Also, it's very hard for people to function, in a healthy relationship when that's going on. And it doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that their coping mechanisms weren't there. So they turn to a vice to be able to handle it. You know what I mean? But you can't have the most transparent exchange when a person's in that standpoint. And it doesn't have to be that it's done purposefully. It's because of it, so to speak, at times. Yes. Yeah, but you see, and the further away from a wound you get, just because they did, it's, let go. It's not, if you choose to talk to them, you choose to talk to them. But don't go back through, I was a bad person because I judged them or anything like that. You know what I mean? If there was a really relevant, separate reason why, these things come up for a reason. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just look at it from that perspective that it's healing. Okay? Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I don't know why, but I'm going to pull one more. Okay, I do feel during this transit, for those of us relating to love and contracts, it's the peacock feathers. And it's funny because peacocks are very similar to the crown chakra. Improved optimistic outlook in life, increased happiness, feel confident and comfortable, embrace abilities to be in the spotlight. Now, like I said, Sagittarius is going through the eclipse cycle soon. It's going to be all that of what you wanted to manifest is moving forward. But it's use your third eye, use your creativity. Do what you can, release, trust the process, and the growth will come. You are going to move forward. We're not going backwards. Stop freaking. This can be love coming back. This can be movement and healing. This can be growth and expansion, but it is a movement forward nevertheless. Emotions can come up and we can get scared, but just remember, keep your eye on the goal. Yes, we can tweak it along the way. Yes, changes can happen. Sometimes we can feel, oh, I've got to head for the hills. I'm going to leave that person behind. Sometimes we've left ourselves behind. So we're picking up our pieces. We're putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. And the soldiers and the queens that can meet us will meet us. But it's trusting the process and shifting the focus onto you. And not getting scared that if you change or you move forward, it means you're losing everything. It doesn't mean you're losing everything. It's okay to change. Love and light. I'll see you during the week.